you. What do you think was the breakout role for you in this industry?
Delhi Crime.
So, like, how did Delhi Crime happen to you, and how did you got to know about it? And you said yes. Why?
Uh, so, um, I think Rishi and Mukesh Chhabria.
Hmm.
So when they sat on the casting, and this is what Rishi has told me, I listed the 10 primary characters. And we said Vartika, and he said, both Mukesh and me said Shefali Shah. Okay. And Rishi met me, and he's the first thing he said to me is, I don't want an actor, I want a collaborator.
Okay.
I want you to come on board to create this with me. I've written it, but I want your voice to it. And it wasn't even a narration. He was just talking to me on what he's been working on, because he worked on it for 4 years, the research and stuff. And within the first 5 minutes, I said yes. I was crying as he was telling me. I was just mopping my face. And I said, just continue. And within less than 5 minutes, I said yes. I'd not even read the script. And then we did 2 auditions, or like 2 trials, like a couple of scene runs with me, because the producers were international. They didn't know who I was or what I could do. And we did that. And that's it. That's exactly how it happened.
Okay.
I mean, it's a role, it's a story that nobody could have said no.
Yeah.
It was just
True.
Something else. Yeah.
And how did you prep for that role? Like, you had to get the skin of a uniformed officer.
Oh God. Like I said, DC is my learning curve. I changed the way I've worked. I've learned so much from DC. What happened was that it was also a story of 5 days and continuous 5 days. So every time I went on set, I needed to know how many hours has she been awake, when was the last cough she had, which would have given her an adrenaline rush, what was the dip, or where was it that she lost a clue, or where did she get a clue which would again give her a high. What is the last conversation I had with X? And even if you don't see it for the next 5 scenes, where have I left that hat? So it was a constant monitoring of minute to minute. And because of that, like, even if I was shooting, let's say, episode 5, scene 30, every day I would go back. Like, if I was shooting for episode 5, scene 30 tomorrow, I would go back and I would reread the script, because I needed to know what all has happened. So that is how that is the kind of work that went into. I was obsessed with Vartika, with DC. I never wanted to get out of that space. So I would go to work, come back, shower, work on the script, get up, go to work. That's what I used to do.
And that kind of
and discuss with Rishi, and make copious amount of notes.
And that showed in your portrayal as well. So, like, when you were on the set, how was the experience of working on the show, and any memorable incident that happened that had stayed with you from the set?
Everything, every part. I mean, DC is it's etched in my heart and mind forever. The experience was, first and foremost, when I used to get a call sheet for the next day, we had like some 18 and 20 scenes. And I was like, what? How are we going to do 20 scenes? Like, what are you thinking? Even with the 3-camera setup, we can't do it. And we never had a 3-camera setup. But we do it because a lot of our shots were one shots. Secondly, long takes. Like, I remember one of the scenes we did was, I think, a 12-page one shot.
Okay.
Also on set, I mean, everyone was so in sync, and everyone was on that project because we madly were in love with it. We passionately just wanted to do it. There was no other thought. Johan, our DOP, he's a magician. In the entire show, there is one shot on a tripod. I mean it. One shot on a tripod. Everything else is handheld. And I don't mean Steadicam, I mean handheld. So, what we used to do is we would go on set, we'd choreograph it. In terms of choreograph it, matlab,
Yeah.
Rishi would say, okay, this is who's moving there, what do you all want to do? So we do that. Then we'd choreograph it with how Johan wanted to move.
Yeah.
Rather, he'd choreograph it, okay, here we're going to come on to her, then we'll go on to Bhupinder, etc. So, and we used to all move along with him. Obviously, the moment I would go out of frame, he was going somewhere else. I'd step back, let the boom guy go. It was like a ballet.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have happened unless everyone was so in sync. And I think the first day itself, like Bhupinder and me, one of the most admired relationships on screen.
Yeah.
I'd never met Rajesh before. I'd never met him before. And it just clicked. It just clicked. We all became those people.
Yeah.
And I had the honor of meeting Chaya Man. And it was just, and it's a very human story.
True.
It's what they go through.
Yeah.
Like when we were shooting at the cop station, and I used to talk to the cops over there, and they were like, I live here, I don't go back home. Because we're on duty almost all the time. तो हफ्ते में एक दिन मैं घर जाकर मिलती हूँ, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when we were shooting at a cop station, and I'd walk in with uniform, and they'd salute to me because they thought probably she is a cop or something, And the experience, what the uniform brings to you is just. I walked taller.
Yeah.
I suddenly had a taller spine.
Yeah.
And the whole experience, it was about also a certain kind of catharsis and payback. We all sat, when the incident happened, we all sat back and said, why is no one doing anything about it?
Yeah.
And when I read this, I realized there was somebody who was doing something about it, and it was a woman. So it was a payback by a woman of justice for the injustice that was done to another one.
Yeah. True.
Okay, this interview has become about Delhi crimes.
No, this is just a small segment. It's separate from the interview.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. So lastly, just I wanted to ask, how did the success of Delhi crime converted into good offers and a change in your career path?
Completely. Delhi crime has been my turning point, even professionally. Suddenly people realize, okay, she can be a central character. She can carry something on her shoulders. And it has to do not just with the way I performed it, but more so because the show had so much credibility.
Yeah.
And I have to give it to Rishi and Mukesh that they trusted me with this.
Yeah.
Rishi could have gotten anyone to play this role.
Yeah.
But he wanted me, and he trusted me with this. And that really changed it around for me. So all the work I'm doing this year, it's suddenly translated. I've always been lucky, and I've always received a lot of love and admiration, but it never translated into work. Now it's translated into work.
Yeah.
Where I'm playing parallel leads, I'm playing central characters, and and it's not just one supporting person somewhere, which is great. This is what I've been wanting to do for the longest time.
Yeah. And you deserve that, rightly so. And thank you so much, Shefali ma'am. It has been a tremendous pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you so much.